Dickinson College's Alliance for Aquatic Resource Monitoring, ALARM, engages volunteers to monitor their local waterways.
Using water quality data, communities are able to learn more about the health of their local streams. In this video, we will be showing you how to test for water clarity at your monitoring site. Water clarity or water transparency measures the quantity of light that passes through water. Water clarity is affected by scattered particles and the presence of dissolved substances, for example, suspended sediment. The particles present in water can reduce the depth that sunlight can penetrate the water column, which affects the growth of aquatic plants. A balance of light and shade is essential for life in streams. Too much or too little of either can be harmful to water quality and aquatic life. To measure water clarity with a transparency tube, a water sample is collected in the tube and then the water is slowly drained to the point where the black and white pattern on the bottom of the tube, also known as a Secchi disc, is visible. Then, the centimeter level on the side of the tube is recorded. You may need to do this test a few times to identify the point at which the Secchi disc is visible. This test is conducted at your stream monitoring location. To conduct this test, you will need waders or water shoes, your transparency tube, and your data sheet. Enter your stream carefully from downstream to upstream to avoid kicking up any sediments that are pre-existing. Whenever you monitor, you want to minimize the disturbance of sediment as you collect your sample. Once you are at your site, prepare your equipment for sample collection. To do this, rinse the transparency tube 3 times with stream water. Empty the rinse downstream. Hold the tube horizontally parallel to the stream bed in the middle of the stream's flow and allow the tube to fill to the 60 centimeter mark with water. Empty it downstream behind you and repeat this step 2 more times. To rinse the drainage tube, open the clamp facing downstream and let the stream water flow through the tube at the bottom. After rinsing, you can now collect your sample. At the middle of the stream, hold the tube horizontally again at mid-depth and let the tube fill with stream water. Pinch the clamp on the drain tube tightly to ensure it's closed properly. Now you can quantify the stream's water clarity. Stand with your back to the sun to create shade for your transparency tube. Look straight down the opening of the tube. If the Secchi disc is visible, record 60 centimeters on your data sheet as the water level. If it is not visible, slowly and partially open the clamp to drain the sample until the Secchi disc faintly appears. At this time, you can close the clamp. This will be the depth of your water clarity. Read the scale on the side of the transparency tube and record the level on your data sheet in centimeters. Again, you may want to practice a few times before recording your values. To collect your replicates, repeat these steps for gathering your sample in your transparency tube. The values of the 2 replicates to be recorded on your data sheet must be within the acceptable precision range of plus or minus 10 centimeters for water clarity. If the values you have are outside of the precision range from each other, continue on with additional replicates until you have 2 values that are within the precision range. Finally, record the 2 values within the acceptable range on your data sheet to then calculate the average. Once you have recorded your values, pour the water out of the transparency tube. You do not need to acid wash the transparency tube. You may want to rinse your tube at home with tap water to remove any sediment. Thank you for volunteering to assess the health of your local stream. We appreciate the time you invest in your waterways. Happy monitoring!